Okay, my hair looks so greasy right now. Okay, no one is in the live yet, but me. Uh, hey guys. So, if you couldn't tell by the title of this video, we're going to talk about my very rough week, my first mental breakdown of the semester, and it's only like the third or fourth week to the semester, so that's just great. And then we're going to talk about journalism burnout and in a very interesting interaction I had with a stranger. So we have a lot to talk about. So to clarify, I'm not going to try and make this move a lot. I'm a journalism major. I don't know what I want to do exactly in journalism, especially after my internship. I really don't know. I probably am not going to do print journalism just because the stress is just so great. And I know what you guys are thinking. It's like, oh, you right. Like, what could be so stressful about that? That's what I thought. I went into journalism thinking that, okay, this is going to be a low stress career for me just because I can write. I'm not the best journalist out there. I still have a lot to learn. But I was like, you know what? I can write. This would be good for me. Later to find out, it's literally one of the top most stressful careers out there, like the top 10. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I should have researched this before. Anyways, um, so what happened is I'm writing for the Daily 49er. So if you guys want to support my journalism work, then I will be posting. Yeah, I am up late. I will be posting probably around like 15 articles this semester on the daily49er.com. And so that's been going on for me. I just finished my third article. It's a great newspaper, but it's a daily newspaper, and daily newspapers are way more stressful than like traditional print newspapers. I've only ever written for like a predominantly print paper where they don't rely on the internet, so it's not as stressful. I usually have like a week or 2 weeks to like write an article or somewhere in between. um, but yeah, getting used to going to an event, like, for example, this week I went to an event on Tuesday and Thursday, and, went to the event. It's, like, an hour long. Then the editors would like it that same day, but if not possible, the next day, early in the morning, which is fine if this was my career, but this is like, I don't even get paid to do this. This is just like work I do to potentially get a career, which is fine. The only thing is, journalism doesn't care about your life. And this is not just me, this is like for any journalist out there. And it's just like, not only do I have to like produce content super fast, and the thing is, I'm okay at writing, but I don't know if this is from lack of experience, still have to write more news writing, or if this is just me and then there's nothing that I can change about this. But I cannot write like news writing that fast. I can't like interview, transcribe like my audio recordings of interviews. I can't put into paper, have a great lead, edit, proofread, rewrite a lot in a few hours. Like, it takes me like so long to do that because I don't like submitting trash to my editors. I take pride in my work, and I just really hate sending in an article where I'm like, oh my gosh, they're gonna think I'm such a bad writer. They're gonna think, oh, what trash is this kind of thing. So it takes me a while to get to the point where I feel comfortable enough to send it into them, knowing that they're gonna edit it anyways, which is fine. Because the editors generally know more than me because they have more experience. So I don't have any problem with them making corrections or suggestions. But yeah, and I'm just like really worried about that because like I've already have experience in journalism. I'm getting a journalism degree, and I'm just like, through my internship the past spring and then now, I'm just kind of like getting more of the realities of like, is this a career for me? And if it's not, then what career should I do? And it's just kind of, it sucks because all the careers that are encompassed within journalism are aligned with some of my personal like skills and interests. Like, there's not a lot of careers that like I'm interested in. Like, when I was younger, I thought about being a teacher because like I like helping people learn, but that's not where my passion is. I feel like I would get really bored in that, teaching the same thing over and over again. And the interesting about journalism is that you don't report on the same thing every day. And so it just sucks that it's just such a stressful career and I don't handle stress really well. And I never really have been able to handle stress really well. And I just don't know why. And it's just like the best way to describe like my type of stress is like if you think of someone who has depression, it's not like they want it and it's like hard for them to get rid of it and it just affects their whole mood. That's kind of how stress in my life is. It's like even, like, sometimes I'll overwhelm myself with things, like doing too much because, like, I have so many interests, y'all, like, I don't know why, but, like, God just, like, gave me this interest in so many different things, and I just, like, involve myself too much where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't do this," and I just get overwhelmed. But even when I don't do that, like, let's say during the summer when I only have to focus on, like, work, I still get stressed. Like, I get stressed, like, "Oh my gosh, I need to edit this YouTube video, this and that," and I have nothing else to be stressed about, and it's just, like, a part of my personality that I just want to be gone. Like, I talk to people who are just so mellow, who are, like, just they're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't even worry about that till tomorrow." Like, I don't really, like, look in the advance. Like, for me, I'm like, "Oh my gosh," like, I see like my life. I see what I'm doing like 2 months in advance and it just like stresses me out because I'm just like, I don't know if I have time for all of that. Like even with YouTube, it's just like I have so many videos that I wrote down in my planner that haven't gone up. I haven't even read the script. I haven't even done the video. I haven't even like whatever because I haven't had the time to do it. And it's just I decreased my units so that I wouldn't have this stress again. But I'm just starting to find out like I think it's just like the newspaper. And so I know now that I don't want to like sought out like a editor position at school or an editor position anywhere because I just know that I'm going to be very unhappy. That's not what I really want to do. I love writing, but I don't want to constantly be under the stress and I just already feel the burnout and I'm not even like in a journalism career yet. Like I'm literally a sophomore journalism major and yeah, I really I don't know. The reason why I feel like journalism is so stressful, other than it's like constant, is you have to base your availability around other people's availability. So normally you're supposed to have at least a minimum of 3 people in your articles, like sources, people you interview. And sometimes you'll be able to like interview those people at the event that you're going to, but sometimes you can't and you have to interview them before in advance or later. So you have to base your schedule around these different people and like especially if you're a college student and you work and you have other activities, it's really hard to always be available at other people's schedules. And it's like no one conforms to your availability and sometimes sources don't respond to you in time and it's like your editors are on you like you got to get this article to me like come on like deadlines are deadlines like I don't have a problem with deadlines I'll meet the deadlines but I will meet the deadline with a bunch of stress like I'll be going around and I'm like oh my gosh oh my gosh oh my gosh I am so stressed and like I just like spend all the time stressing out so anyways that's a little background on the journalism burnout stress thing what topics do I cover it depends on what newspaper. So my high school newspaper, I did sports, I did opinion, I did arts and culture, I did feature, I did news. I think I'm missing one. I think that's all. And then at my internship at the Signal Tribune newspaper, I covered it was mainly like community type of stuff for like Signal Hill, Long Beach. So I did a lot of community. I think I did some profiles. I did news for sure. I edited some press releases there. And then in the high school newspaper, I'm probably not gonna do sports. I have been able to get by. Like I'm not really like sports knowledgeable, so I only try and stick to sports that I'm more familiar with. But it's not something that I'm absolutely opposed to. Um, but yeah, so right now the only articles I've written for the Daily 49er have been I did one opinion piece. I did it on oh, this is funny. I should tell you guys. So, you know how I went through all this MGTOW stuff? I thought about writing like an opinion article on like what happened and just kind of like my thoughts and opinions on it because I feel like that'd be kind of interesting to people. And I was going to pitch that idea to the opinion editor, but I didn't even have to because he sent an email saying like, "Oh, like can you do like someone do an article on toxic masculinity and cells and um, like hateful internet communities, and he said like something like, "How do these communities produce people like Elliot Rogers?" I think I think that's his name. Anyways, so I was like, okay, I have to do this because I knew exactly what I was going to do. So you can check it out. Um, and yeah, I did that, and I wrote two articles on like two poetry events, but that's it. Um, Another thing that like I always feel like really inadequate at like being a journalist, and I feel like it's just an insecurity that I have is like when I go to events, I don't have like a press badge. I don't look like a journalist. Like, I mean, I just recently got a more like professional looking camera, but even in my internship, I was using like my phone, and I was just like, you know, and it just like looks very like amateur and like juvenile, and I just felt like really insecure to go up to people and be like, "Hey, can I interview you?" Because I feel like people might think like, "What is this like little girl like trying to like interview me or take photos of me?" Like I feel very uncomfortable taking photos or videos of people because they just like look at me like, "What are you doing?" Um, where was I going with this? I forgot. Uh Yeah, and so what furthered this feeling of inadequacy this week is I got my professor is really nice, so she's not rude or mean or anything, so don't think anything bad of her. But I was just kind of like disappointed because um, it's a class, the Daily 49ers, so all the articles I turned in, I get graded. And so when I received my grade back on the MGTOW article, which is opinion article, of course, and I was limited to 500 words, the article was like triple that, but I had to cut it down. Um, I got it like a 78 on it. And I felt like really upset about that because it's like I was like, dang, I was like, how many hours did I spend like writing that and rewriting that and editing that to get a C? I was just like, I know I was like, I followed AP style, which is like how journalists like write stuff. There wasn't really any spelling or grammatical errors in it. I try to give a fair like opinion. Like when I do opinion pieces, I try to approach it with not only having my own opinion, but also trying to give a decent amount of like each side. Like I don't want to be too biased and like, oh my gosh, this person is like awful and like you should believe this. Like no, I want to like be able to have people see both sides and like kind of form their opinion on that, if that makes sense. And so I kind of did that fairly in my opinion. And then I've met the deadline and I got a C on it. And like I know a lot of people would not complain about that. They'll be like a C is pretty good. That's like passing average. But the thing about me is like I never like ever since like middle school I should say, I don't turn in I work really hard for like almost everything in life. Like there's like not a lot of things that like naturally come easy to me. Like I have to work so hard and like news writing is one of those things. And so it's kind of like I worked so hard on that article, and I was just like, that was not like a CF or like to me, like I just, and it just kind of like made me feel worse about myself. I was like, dang, like this just like really sucks. Like, should I even like be a journalist? I can't even like get a B on my first article for this class. And like, I know my teacher was telling me, she was like, oh, like, can you back up the statement you made? Which is a fair like argument and stuff. But I was just trying to tell her, like I had a 500 word count and I don't have any room to explain anything else. And I just couldn't elaborate like I wanted to. And it's just like, I don't know, man. So that was just like what I was dealing with. It's just like, I know grades don't matter in the long run, but I still want to do well. Like I did really bad in school when I was younger. I like didn't care, almost failed the second grade. I've had like a lot of stuff happen, and this is I'm not going to go into too much in detail because I'm going to do a separate video on this, but I never want to go back to that state of like doing bad in school, and I can't reverse it because I'm just too afraid of that. And I don't know, it's a very annoying complex. So anyways, With this whole school and journalism stress, the other thing that I've been dealing with, I've kind of mentioned this briefly on my channel, is like financial stress. So I can't really complain too much because like my dad, I live at home in college and he pays rent for food, stuff like that. So like the main stuff that I have to pay for is like gas, college expenses that aren't tuition because my tuition is paid for not by my dad, but he's a disabled like vet, so that's where it comes from the government and stuff, which I'm really grateful for. So besides that, and also some things that I need and want, I pay for myself. I don't ask my dad, and so it's just kind of like ever since I switched jobs, I haven't been like getting shifts, and I understand that it's like I'm new, but it's been like 5 months now, and I'm still not like getting a lot of shifts. And it's like kind of been bugging me, and I've been like really stressed out about it, even though I've really like tried to like trust in God because I know that He'll like, everything will be right and He'll make everything better in the end, I should say. And I've mentioned this type of stuff in my testimony time videos of like God doing stuff in my life that I couldn't see at that moment. And but it's like it's really hard to like think that way sometimes when you see that your paycheck is like $40 or like $20 and you're like gas is like $50 every week and you have to start pulling money from your savings. And I just like it bugs me because it's just like I think about my finances from in the future. Like I know I'm gonna have to pay like over $500 in like college fees next semester, and that usually you have to pay that in like I want to say January, December. So I have to start saving up for that. I know I'm gonna have to pay for gas, and I know there's events that I want to go to that are annually, and I have to save money up for that. So I don't even have the opportunity, and I just kind of like look at it as like I know, get me wrong, I'm blessed and I appreciate everything I have in my life, and I know there's people that are worse off. But it's just kind of like I know that like if this is a continual trend, I'm gonna have to like stop like going out to like eat with my friends, get coffee, do little things, and it just like I don't know, I don't like the idea of like I don't know taking away my social life just because like for the majority of high school I didn't have a social life, so like I just feel like now that I'm in college, like the amount of youth I have left, I want to use it and like enjoy it. And I just don't want to like, I don't know. That just really bugs me. And so I was stressed about those two things financially and like my career. And it just have been like really bugging me down. So yesterday I was in like the Starbucks line and I was like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be buying Starbucks, but I was starving. So I was in the line, I was on the phone with my boyfriend, just talking about this stuff. And I sat down, was eating my panini, and when I was like talking about it, I was like on the verge of tears. So I got myself up, walked outside the Starbucks. This is Starbucks on campus, by the way, at Cal State Long Beach. And I sat at a bench where like most people aren't walking by outside of the Starbucks because I didn't want I knew I was gonna start to cry. Like for me, like if you know me, my family knows this, my boyfriend knows this, is like when I start talking about something that really upsets me, like I cannot control not crying. Like you will if I like hold back the tears, like you will hear it in my voice. So I just like naturally just cry. But I'm such an ugly crier that like I don't like crying in front of people. So I sit down and I'm on the phone and I'm on the phone with him for like an hour just talking about stuff. And I'm just like telling him, I was like, I'm just so unhappy. And I'm just saying this when I'm like crying. I'm like, I just want to be happy. Like I feel so unfulfilled in college when it comes to career major because of the stress. If I feel unfulfilled in my job and I just feel financially unstable and I feel so like every morning I have to get up and go to school, commute 20 miles. It just like it just ruins things for me. Like I drive a truck which gets like what 15 miles per gallon and I drive 20 miles, 40 miles round trip every time I go to Long Beach. Like everything I know is in Long Beach. So even though it's been past a year of college, I just still struggle with having to commute, especially since I chose that school because I didn't want to commute. Like, I didn't apply to, like, UC Irvine. I wasn't gonna get into UCLA, because I didn't wanna commute, and I knew I couldn't live on campus. And I know there's people who can't even go to school, so I know that I'm just first world problems. But it's really annoying because, like, every day at school, like, I have to plan out the events I'm gonna go to for journalism on those days, so I go to school 2 days a week. So I start class at 8, I get out at 1:45. I take 4 classes Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have a Korean Christian group that sometimes I can't go to, but they meet on Tuesdays at 5. Um, and so I have to fit in workout schedule. And that's another thing. I haven't been able to work out at all this week. And that's really been upsetting me because I want to get back on my grind. Like I've been really good at that. And so I have to fit in workout schedule. I have to fit in um, events that I either want to go to with school or events I have to cover or hanging out with friends in Long Beach because it's hard for me to come out to Long Beach on a day I don't have school just to hang out with someone because the traffic is bad, it costs money, and people don't always want to come up to Whittier just because, like, either they don't have a car, they don't have money either. And so I have to schedule all these things in 2 days. Last semester it was 4 days. So it gets pretty hectic when I'm on campus from 8 a.m. And for example, last night I was on campus from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night. And I don't have anywhere to go. Like sometimes I'll come out to like my boyfriend's house and hang out with his family so that way I don't have to be on campus all day long because like what am I going to do? Like I just feel like I don't have a house to go to in Long Beach because it's like there's no point in me to like leave Cal State Long Beach and go home for like 30 minutes just to come back to waste gas, time, and money. And so some of those are just stuff that just have been bugging me and I just like I was just telling my boyfriend, like, on the phone, like, there's just so many things that I wanna accomplish, but I just feel like I don't have the time to, and I just feel like I can't do them all at the same time because I'm just not that person. I just stress out over things, and I don't know why, and I wish I could handle stress better. And I was just, like, in tears, like, snot coming out my nose, and then the stranger comes by, and later I find out he is a freshman, so if you're watching this, thank you so much, you're so sweet. Um, and he was like, "Are you okay? Like, do you have a ride?" This and that, and it kinda caught me off guard because I am not used to having strangers come up to me and, like, comfort me when I cry. Because like, there's often times when I cry in public just because, like, I just can't control it, holding it in. And so, it was just really interesting, and like, this person, he just, like, wanted to hear me, like, talk, and so I was just, like, telling him just everything I told my boyfriend, just, like, everything that was upsetting me, which made me cry even more, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't wanna cry." And like, after that, we just, like, you know, I asked him questions about himself because I was talking, like, the whole time, so I didn't wanna, like, be narcissistic in that regards, and this was, like, either through and I had nowhere to go, so this happened Thursday around, like, 3, 4 o'clock, and the event I was going to cover didn't start till 8. So I was gonna work on an essay, but I really had nowhere to go. Like I was gonna be on campus and like have nothing to do. And this guy had nothing to do until like around the same time. So it was like for 3 or 4 hours we were just talking and it just reminded me that I need it just taught me, like, I need to reach out to people more, like, instead of always being scared and, like, if I see someone in need, like, that really touched me because like, most people don't do that, like, there was a few people that walked by and, like, I didn't expect anyone to come by, I didn't really want people to see me in that state, like, my face red, like, my eyes red, and, like, snot, like, coming down my nose, and he got, like, some napkins for me, and it was just, like, no judgment, and, like, if you guys have ever tried this, when you, like, rant or ask opinions from strangers, it's, like, almost better than asking people you know because it's kind of like there's no judgment, like, they don't know who you are, they don't know who these people are, so it kinda gives you, like, a better, like, judgment on, like, a situation or anything, and so, that was really nice, that really, like, helped me in that moment and made me feel better, and one of the reasons why I was stressed that night, I was supposed to cover this thing called a poets lounge at school where people can do spoken word or poetry or perform music, and I was supposed to profile someone. Well, I don't know who's performing that night because people sign up at the event. So I was like, okay, like I need to go early. I need to interview people because I know everyone's gonna dip out when it turns 10, and I need to find someone who to interview. And I was really worried that I wasn't gonna find anyone. I wasn't gonna have a good story. So I sat down and I see this guy, he's holding a piece of paper. It's like only 3 people have signed up to do poetry, and the room was full of guests. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, is there no one gonna show up? No one's gonna perform?" And I asked the person, I was like, "Are you speaking tonight?" And he's like, "Yes." And I had a feeling because he was having a piece of paper. And so I was like, you know what? I just need to ask him for his contact information so I can cover this, and he might be the one I need to do. But the thing is, I know my editors, they want me to summarize or rehash this event. I know had to find something special about it. And when you're a journalist, you have to ask people for their title. If you are a student journalist, and talking to students, you have to ask them for their name, grade, and major. So I asked the grade and major, and he said mathematics. And I was like, it was in that moment that I was like, God just blessed me with an idea. And I was like, a mathematics major doing poetry. Like, when not to like characterize people or generalize, but in my personal opinion, I feel like a lot of people don't characterize STEM majors with poetry. I feel like when you think of someone going to a poets lounge and doing spoken word, it's like a gender studies person, English major, um, like stuff like that. Not someone doing math. And I was like, this is interesting. Like, this is like some journalism content. So I did all that stressing out, and God like just showed me then and there. And I was just like so appreciative that it was the first person I talked to instead of having to go to like all these people who were performing. And so, yeah, the article went fine, but I got home at like 11 something and started on it at like 12, and I didn't go to bed till like 2:30 a.m. this morning because I was like, I gotta finish this before like today. Oh, I mean, well, it was today, but before like I'd had stuff I had to do. And so it was just a very hectic day, and like even when I was writing it, because I cried so much and it was late at night, like my eyes were just so puffy and my vision was just like going blurry. I was like, I can't even see what I'm writing anymore. So, um, that's kind of what's been going on. I need to find a different version of journalism that I can do because I really don't want to switch my major, but I really don't want to be unhappy in a career for the rest of my life. And I really don't know what I want to do. I think about this all the time because journalism isn't my first choice. If I could do anything in the world, it would either be acting or YouTube, but those are really unrealistic. So that's why I don't pursue that. This is just a hobby. So, yeah, let me read these comments really fast. Well, okay, celibate Scorpio going her own way. To respond to that, it's not a news article. So if you're watching this, it's an opinion piece. So I am allowed to have a personal opinion. If I didn't, then there would be no point in me writing it. So um, my opinions stay on the opinion page. Um, I don't agree with biased media, whether it's conservative or like liberal. I think that there's a time and place for that. And I think people have to, you know, base like they should be able to form their own opinions based off the facts. So when it's opinion, I want to say my opinion. I want to be like, hey, this is what I think. So that's why. But I just like my editor, not my editor, my professor. mm, Um, she mentioned that like she thought I was too nice to MGTOW in my article, but I was just like, I told her straight up, like I had to explain to her what MGTOW is because she didn't know what it is. And I was like, I wasn't trying to like make these guys look bad. Like obviously I'm gonna show you and tell you that, hey, like they treated me pretty poorly on the internet and it wasn't easy. But at the same time, I just like told her, and in my article, if you read it, you guys should read it. I also mentioned that like instead of calling people and dismissing people as hate groups, you have to understand like where they're coming from. Even though their hate isn't justified, you have to like understand. And I was trying to tell her, I was like, I don't think anybody just starts off as, like, hateful, like, things happen in their life that cause them to react like that, doesn't mean it's right, but you have to understand. You have to try and, like, understand people is what I was trying to tell her. She understood that, like, she agreed with me on that, but yeah. Let's see. Hmm. Oh my gosh. 420. Billy, how does she want me to react? So I know that the editor, when he pitched this, I'm sure he didn't expect me to take it the way I did it. I'm sure he probably expected me to be in like support of like it was also about toxic masculinity. I don't know if I said that. I'm pretty sure he expect what time is it? Dang, I've been on here for so long. Um, I know he was probably thinking I was gonna go in the direction of like toxic masculinity and like these men are bad and stuff. But I took it a different way. And I'm sure he's probably surprised, like, me being, like, a female and saying this too. So, I didn't wanna talk about I think his name's Elliot Rogers, the guy that, like, killed people. He mentioned that in, like, the pitch, but I didn't wanna mention that because I don't think MGTOW guys were in support of that, or not the majority, so I didn't feel like that was relevant to, like, the issue. I feel like I think my one problem I have with whether it's conservative, liberal people is the fact that people it's almost like people these days want to be polarized. And I don't like that. Like I think that it is kind of hard to express like outlandish or conservative views. But I think that like if you are conservative, you have to approach it in a different way. It's like you almost have to be sneaky in like how you approach it because if you like let's say MGTOW, when people look at MGTOW, a lot of them are going to dismiss it as a hate group because they see the type of like stuff that they produce or the hate comments, and so right off the bat, they're not going to do further investigation just because of that. So that's just coming from an outside view, which is like the view I originally held. So I feel like if you're coming from a minority group that is seen kind of like in that way, you have to approach it differently. And I think that like it's important to like I don't know. I'm I don't know how to explain like what I'm trying to convey. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I've been on both sides of the spectrum and I'm just like I don't particularly like politics. I focus more on like social issues, especially issues between men and women, like feminism, MGTOW. But I don't know. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that happened this week that I'm trying to tell you guys. But venting, ranting helped a lot to I don't know. I'm 20 now. I feel old, even though I'm like young. That's another thing that's been bugging me, I guess. Not really bugging me, but like on my birthday, it did. And so, yeah, I don't know, cause I just like it's crazy to me. I'm in college right now, but this is like the decade I'm probably gonna get married. Well, I know I'm gonna get married. The decade that I'm I'm probably gonna have kids, and it's just crazy because I just, like I feel like a kid myself, like, I don't feel like I just, like, wanna be 16 again, like, I don't wanna be 20. This is just I don't know, like, I know I shouldn't worry about this because, like, I'm a Christian stuff, but I still, like when the older I get, I'm like, "Okay," like, I'm, like, like, we're all slowly dying. I'm like, I have less years on this earth now that I'm 20 than, like, when I was, like, 10, and so I just think about that, and I was think it brings me into this thought of, like, what's it gonna feel like when I'm no longer on this earth? Like, it's just, like, even if you're in heaven, it's just, like, it's a very, I don't know, weird thought to think of, like, you physically not being on this earth. I don't know. Mead, are you commenting on your own comment or responding to your own comment, or is it still hacked? I don't know. I'm responding to the years left on earth. Mead, what are you talking about? Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I was like, be careful. Anyways, what else should I talk about? So yeah, I have 12 articles to write that I still have to do, produce 2 multimedias for this class, so I'm just, like, counting down how many. I'm thinking about running for Miss Long Beach. I've always wanted to be in a pageant. I mentioned this in, like, one of my very first videos on this channel that I plan on running in this pageant. Um, I just have a feeling I'm gonna lose anyways because I lose at everything in life, so yeah, but I still try even though I lose, I just try. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but that's a thing. Um, I don't know. I just what do you guys have to say? There are like 5 people watching this right now. Can't believe it's like 10:39. I was originally gonna sit down and like in my own like wall, my background, and I was gonna like actually like edit this and like write the script out and stuff, but I was like, I don't even got time for that, and I'm not home, and I just have nothing to do right now. I mean, well, I could be working on like an essay, but to be honest, I really don't want to work on an essay after writing this article this morning. So I was like, you know what? Let me just do a live. I haven't done a live in like a month. What's a major swap? Me, I am bad at math. I can't do math. If there's anything that stresses me out more than journalism, it is math. That's why I can't do anything in STEM. I refuse to do any STEM major. I will be so I don't know. I don't wanna, like, make myself look like I'm dumb. I'm not dumb. I'm not, like, naturally intelligent. Like, there's, like, things I'm good at, but I don't know. I just have to work really hard. It sucks. I just kinda came to the conclusion that I am professional at working hard and stressing myself out. And public speaking, I can do. Oh, that's another thing I forgot. At the Poets Lounge that I covered, I what's it called? I wasn't planning on speaking. I've always wanted to speak at one of these poetry things, but I didn't have a poem prepared. I didn't have anything prepared. But I felt in my heart that I was like, I need to share this story and like with these people. And so I told the people that were running the event, I was like, if there's no one, like if there's still time at the end, like, can I go up? I don't want to like, I need to focus on everyone first. So I don't want to like go up in the middle of it. So I did. I'm not a comedian by any means, but I know how to make people laugh. I'm really good at public speaking. That's, like, one of the things that, like, I can do. Everything else, I don't know about that, but public speaking is one of those things, so I did an, impromptu, made people laugh, and I told them about the part where my boyfriend was like, "Maybe you need to have a new career." And I told them, I was like, but my dream career is to be if I could do any career in the world, it would be YouTube." And everyone laughed. And then for comedic value, not necessarily to get people to subscribe to me, after I said that, I was like, "My channel name is Joy Isabel, like, comment, and subscribe." And then everyone just, like, burst down to laughter. So it was comforting to, like, know that I can make people laugh. So yeah, that happened. I wish I filmed that though. Next time I go to a Poets Lounge, I'll film it and upload it. I am not a STEM person. I'm going to biology still contains math. It doesn't contain that much math, but it still contains math. Me, you're smart. Like, dude, I am not like that. I'm just like mentally challenged when it comes to math. I'm literally the person when it comes to math tests, I will literally have a calculator and be like 4 plus 4 just to make sure because I don't trust myself. Obviously, I know what 4 plus 4 is. But whenever I hit my head on something, so I make sure I don't have a concussion or anything, I know it sounds really dumb, but I always do multiplication problems in my head. And if I can answer them, then I'm okay. I know I'm okay if I can do that type of math. 5 times 5, 25, stuff like that. And if I can't, then I have a serious problem. Like, I had a problem waking up. Like, last year, I would be late to class, late to midterms, and so I had to set an alarm where I have to do math to wake me up. And I originally started off with double-digit addition, and I couldn't do that waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning without a calculator in, like 10 seconds. So I don't know. I don't like math. I enjoyed that cooking video that you made. Okay, Billy, thank you. Um, I didn't know people were gonna like that cooking video, to be honest. It was something I created at the moment, and I was like, maybe this might be like really interesting for people who can't really cook because it's super simple. So I filmed it, but it, if I have other, like, ideas, like, for recipes, I'm sure I do, I just can't think of anything at the moment, then I will definitely, like, do, like, a cooking series, like, easy cooking series. But if you wanna look up the MGTOW article, it's gonna be under opinion, and you'll see it'll say, like, MGTOW. The title is MGTOW's, Toxic Masculinity Comes from Pain. So that's the title. It's not that long, trust me. It's, like, 500 something words, so it's an easy read. But yeah. What are some YouTube videos do you guys have? Because, like, I have a bunch of ideas, but I have, like, kind of, like 2 months ago, my channel went from female to predominantly male audience, and that's because of MGTOW, but now it's kind of like I have more female, like, people watching my channel, but it's just a little bit more than guys. So I have, like, men and women watching my channel now, and I make predominantly like female videos. So I don't know if there's like stuff that you guys would be interested in seeing that I could potentially try and come up with. I know someone mentioned like going into abandoned buildings, and I personally like watching videos like that. But it's also terrifying to go in an abandoned building. So if I ever did something like that, it would be like with like 10 friends or something. So I don't know. The way I do my YouTube channel is it's college beauty and lifestyle because I didn't want to make it too. I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm a makeup channel. Like, I literally don't really do makeup. Like, I'm not even. I'm just like, I only put eyeshadow, mascara on today. Like, really simple stuff. Like, I can't do like fancy, swanchy like makeup, and so it's not a makeup channel. But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna do makeup. Like, I have some makeup videos on my channel, but I don't like doing like 5 makeup videos in a row and then like a college video and then like 5 more college videos. I like to space them out. Like, I like try to incorporate college stuff, Korean culture, makeup, beauty, hauls, blogs, stuff like that. Um, I know some people that know my boyfriend think my videos are cringy or like they're not good, but I don't know. I try to be myself on this channel, like try to give you like basically like even if I look bad sometimes, I'll just like put it up. Sorry, that was my stomach. I just like put it up on there because like I don't want to like come off as this person that like I'm really not or like my life is so great because it's not. Clearly, it's really not all great all the time. Um, I can't. Okay. I can. I'm sure this is the same way for like almost everybody on this earth, but I'm like low key weak in my arm, like straight. Like when I'm at the gym and I try to do like those rip curls on the machine, like I'm just like, like I'll do 8, and then I might come back to do a second rep and do 8, but I have to do like low weight because it's just too much. And like I see those videos of those girls that do the squats with like the bar, and I wanted to try that, but I'm just too afraid of like injuring myself. So I feel like I focus a lot more on my lower body than I do like my upper arm strength because like I don't know. So I'm sure I can't lift more than the guys who are my critics. I'm sure they can lift way more than I can. But I do want to do like so this is the plan. You know how I am on this like health journey, got a gym membership, gym clothes, whatever. I do eventually plan on like doing videos about like my journey. So the reason why I haven't posted anything is because I don't want to do a sit down video. I'm trying to do like a kind of like a short film documentary type of video of like pieces of here and here with my progress instead of like doing like a sit down talk video of what I did. I want to talk more about my journey from I was young to like now and like some of the setbacks and stuff, kind of like more personal than just like what I did because like my workout routine or like what I do for eating is not going to like necessarily be the same for what someone else needs to do. So I really don't want to focus that more. I want it to be more inspirational, if that makes sense. So that type of video will be going out. I don't know when. I don't know because some of the videos that I really want to do, I haven't put out because I want to spend time enough to make it like a quality video. So that's a video that I want to spend time in doing quality type of stuff. Let me see if I have any other video ideas that I'm thinking about doing. But yeah, if you guys have video ideas, comment them below. Uh, I have in my notes. I was thinking about doing like this of skit video of me like in math class and just like all the thoughts and like feelings that go through my head. And do you guys like food videos? I don't know. I feel like there's a certain group of people on the internet that love food videos like mukbangs and like stuff like that. Like I only have a few on my channel, but I was thinking about doing like another one, like a spicy food challenge, like a really spicy food challenge with my friends. It's really hard to do YouTube. It is, but it's worth it. I love it. It's what I look forward to every week. Like I can mass produce the videos way faster than I can mass produce articles. So, but if you guys have any video ideas or questions, please contribute to the chat because I don't have anything right now. I'm going to squat 3/3 of the weight of the earth and interrupt the planet's orbit around the sun. Okay, you go do that, Mead. We'll see you later. Okay. Mm, what else? Um, one video, I don't know if this is gonna happen now, but since it was my birthday, I did get gift cards and stuff, so I don't really wanna go shopping now. Like, I'm weird, like, when I get money or, like, new stuff, like, I don't like to touch it for, like, a long time because, like, I don't want to, like, ruin it or, like, spend the money. So, expect a haul video from that. It'd probably be, like, a try on haul. Um, yeah. I'm so oily, guys. I am so, like, shiny right now. Oh, I don't know what you guys think, but see how, like, messed up my hairline is, and everyone was talking about that in the chat, like, it's like an M, pretty much. Like, I have these, like, bald spots right here. It's because it's always been like that. Like, you look at pictures of me when I was younger, my hairline was like this, so we think that, like, the doctors were too forceful in, like, taking me out when I was born, that, like, my hair got pulled. So, like, most people's hair would, like, come down and cover this area, but for me, it doesn't, so I always have my hair I've parted my hair different ways throughout the years, but I always part my hair like this, so you can't really see it, but it's just, like, some hairstyles, you have to, like, have, like, a middle part. So, like, I've been, like, trying to see, like, if I could, I don't know, do the middle part. It looks a little weird on me, but it covers, like, the bald spot, so and it just kinda I don't know. I feel like I look better the other way. I don't know. I feel like this doesn't look like me, so this is why I flip it over. It's like one of my biggest insecurities. Outside of my weight, I really wish I had a normal hairline. Like, I always look at pictures of, like, people I know, and I'm like, "Why does my hairline have to, like, look so weird?" And, like, I think it made it worse too that people noticed it on the internet too, like, people were noticing it, and I was just like, "Man, it's one thing for me to notice it, but it's another thing for other people to notice it too." And people, like, not only on the internet, but there was, like, these guys that always, like would always mess with me in high school, and they would make fun of me for it too. But yeah, that is why. So, yep. What are some other things that have been going on? Um, See, this is the problem with lives is that, like, I don't have anything planned out. Mm, oh, I know I mentioned in my one of my previous vlogs, previous lives, is that I'm taking like a gender studies class, like a women's sexuality gender class, and the reason why is because it's honors credit for me, and I need it. Yeah, I know. If you don't want to listen, you can leave. You're not obligated to stay. And so, like, my thoughts in coming to this class were like very negative, and I was like, I'm gonna be really bored. But what I didn't realize is the class is like it focuses on global feminism kind of thing. So not like feminism here. So it's like kind of really interesting to like look at, I don't know, other countries and like problems women have instead of just here. So I'm not bored. It's interesting like listening in the class and like seeing what the other side has to say. So that's interesting. My political science teacher, the class is so boring. I hope she doesn't see this, but she talks really slow, and I'm just like, ugh. I know I'm like blessed to be in school, but I just like I am over it. I'm over it. But I don't want to be out of college yet because I need to still be a kid. Like have like the youth I have left. I need that left. So yeah. I don't know my future. I mean, who does? And I think that scares me because I'm just such a planner. And every time I plan something, God's like, "Oh, that's not your plan. That's not my plan for your life." And I'm like, "Okay." I wasted all that time planning out, "Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna update my college timeline class schedule." Like, when I was a freshman, I had every class that I planned on taking lined out for every semester. So, maybe I can do that as a job, planning things for people. I don't know, events, whatever. I'm wearing this really cute sweater. It's kinda making me hot right now, but it's super cute. It's from Old Navy. I don't know if they still sell it there. But definitely check those articles out. I'm going to try and link, like, the recent articles in the description box in my videos, like, every time I post a new one. But if in the case I forget, just go to Daily 49er and, like, look it up. So, if you wanna see my past articles too, not that any of you guys would care, because like, no one reads anymore, you can view them on my LinkedIn profile, or you can just pretty much, like, I feel like you can just type Joy Rowden, I don't know, articles, Long Beach, because I wrote for the Sentinel Tribune and for Long Beach Poly Highlight. You know, if you search my name, if you search Joy Isabel into YouTube, one of the suggestions that Google gives you is Joy Isabel at MGTOW. And then if you search my name in Joy Rowden in Google, one of the suggestions that Google gives you is boyfriend's makeup. And I was just like, okay. uh, funny. Yeah. So, sorry. Yeah, I do that a lot. But if you guys don't have anything to say, then I probably should leave because it's been like forever since I've been on here. So thank you so much for watching this live, for hearing, for being my therapist once again and hearing me out. So I hope you guys have a blessed weekend and a good next week. I will try and upload, like, my goal was to upload 3 videos a week when the school year started, but realistically, it's probably gonna be, like, 1 or 2. So, I will be posting, but just not as frequent as I did in the summer. So, love you guys. Bye!